Welcome guys, it's Edwin, and today we're going to be talking about the Elvia by Emerson Knives in collaboration with Ed Calderon. And one thing I want to make sure that you are aware before we start talking about this knife is that it just came out. I just got this knife from UPS. I put it right here in front of the camera to talk to you about it, but it's also to tell you that that first run sold out so quick that they are making a second run. Okay, they're taking pre-orders, and by they I mean Emerson Knives. They're taking pre-orders of a second run of the Elvia until Friday, June 5th at noon PST time. Okay, so be aware of that if you are interested in an Elvia design, they are doing pre-orders for a second run, and that second run production will take a total of 6 to 8 weeks, and then they will ship those to the respective owners, right? So be aware of that. I wanted to make sure you're aware of that because right now we're talking that this is this Friday in 2 days, right? So FYI. So let's talk about it. You can go to emersonKnives.com to get more information about that, okay? And I will try to put the link of this information in the description right away so you can also have it. So guys, let's talk a little bit about Ed Calderon. This guy is one of the top, if not the top guy regarding the whole US-Mexico border dynamics. And let me be more clear about that. The whole criminal dynamics between US and Mexico border, meaning the cartel movements and dynamics, who control what, the whole culture. Okay, the whole underground culture of the cartels, of how these cartels manipulate the citizens in the border and how they operate. So when he was in Mexico, he was basically a special op guys against the cartels, okay? And how this whole thing and this whole culture is basically, you know, all together with the citizens, and it's all, you know, it's very, very interesting. I have followed him for a long time. I'm from Texas, so, you know, it's one of those things that I'm always interested in. I have followed him. And this guy has provided a lot of training to our guys now that when he moved to California. And not only that, he offers also training for civilians and stuff like that. So a lot of that background, I'm telling you this so that you don't think that this guy is a nobody. This guy knows what he's talking about, and I'm extremely happy that this release happened. He used to carry an Emerson Persian when he was down there, and it's very, very exciting to see that he was able to make this collaboration with Ernest Emerson, and very, very humble guy, okay? So yeah, that's a little bit of the story about Ed Calderon. You know, I just touched a little bit. He has some excellent interviews. And again, follow him on Instagram, on Ed Manifesto, and you will see what I'm talking about, okay? Now, let's talk about the knives. We're here for the knives, so let's do that. Okay, let's talk about the Elvia. Now, the inspiration is from Ed's mother, okay? Elvia is her name. And basically, she used to carry a little fixed blade, a little fruit knife, I will say, that looks very similar to this. It's a more straight blade, but basically something like this in a little fixed blade on her waist. And she will use it for all type of utility tasks, right? And she even used it for self-defense in some of the stories from Ed. And very, very interesting, great inspiration. And basically, Ed came up with this idea of having this ultimate backup weapon that you can train with. And not only that, if you cannot carry a knife and you go to Mexico, hey, you can stop in any store, get a fruit knife, and you're ready to rock, right? You know how to use it, you know where to go. And I remember when I was a teenager, you know, yeah, there will be this little fruit knife that you will handle like this, right? And you will basically open through the skin of oranges or mangoes. When I was in Puerto Rico, right? I'll be like opening stuff like that. And, you know, and that's basically, I can really see what he's talking about. Basically, that little fruit knife that you use for basically opening whatever you were using. Okay, and that's the main inspiration. Let's talk about it. Let's compare with the CQC7 like we always do. This will be a little bit awkward because you can see that profile is definitely different. But this is not a big knife, okay, guys? We're talking about a knife that is I think that blade is 2.8 inches. Obviously, you have that curve there, right? But 2.8 inches. And then overall is 7.2 inches, okay? Very, very cool. That's how it compares with the CQC7 that you guys know, for me, that's not a big knife. Now let's compare with the Spyderco Tenacious. So you can see right here how it compares with it. You can see it's very thin, just like a little fruit knife, I will say, okay? Very, very nice. That's how it compares with the Spyderco Tenacious. And I should have my Buck 110 somewhere here. Boom. I need to change my Buck 110. I have some other ones. And you can see how that compares. I know that whole profile is different, so it's a little bit weird to compare it there. But so let's look at that beautiful blade. We're talking about a V grind. You know, you have that beautiful curve all the way to that tip. Is awesome. You know, it's a V grind blade like we know with Emerson's. We're talking about a knife that has been ground on this side and ground on the other side, and I love that, okay? I love the whole satin finish that Emerson has been doing. Excellent. And then you have that chisel edge right on there, okay? Just on one side in there. You have that curve, you know, that curve that will definitely help in eating through that material, right, when you're using this. And let's look, you have the logo of Emerson with the Elvia model. In this case, we're looking at the serial number 9, and you have that thumb stud there. Notice there's no wave in this model, okay? And one of the things I'm going to mention regarding the ergonomics on this handle is that Emerson have done some subtle changes to this style of model, because we have seen several fixed blades that are Elvia style, okay? And basically one of the things that I really like is this curve right here, because when you're handling there, okay, that curve with this indexing here, this arch right there to put your index, tells you where you at. And I love that. And this is like the self-defense style of grip is excellent, guys, okay? Excellent. And basically, imagine, you know, the whole dynamic with this is more of a thruster and this type of operation, right? Like carving, right? Carving meat, right? That's the style for the Elvia as a self-defense weapon, right? The whole style of carving and stabbing really fast with this little blade. Okay, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Libre, and you guys probably can go and Google about that style of training regarding Libre fighting. Okay, and you will see what I'm talking about. In the other side, I think I forgot to mention, you have that very nice Ed Calderon logo that I love. And, you know, one of the things I need to mention is that the whole package is really, really nice. The handle is pretty simple, right? You have your G10 with your 3 stand-ups right there. And one cool thing, and I don't know if this is something that we will continue seeing with models with Emerson knives, is that they started using again that dome pivot, right? Like you can see, it's not just flat. You have that dome pivot right there that I think is a great touch. The G10 is pretty grippy, okay? So be aware of that. This is not going anywhere. And simple construction, right? The washers on it, and it's very, very easy to open. This will be another style of grip that you can use with this knife, right? To use it like that. It's very easy. You have a little bit of a curvature there to help you with that style. And another style that Ernie was showing in the live feed is doing this style, right? It's a small blade, so you can easily hide that tip right there and use it if you don't want to expose that tip for whatever, it's on emergency cutting or something, right? That's a way to handle this if you don't want to expose the tip and, you know, and poke someone with it, right? Just go there, cut it, and come back. So be aware of that. It's a small tip that is very nice to use like that as well. Obviously, reverse works excellent as well. Okay, but the main grip feels just great. And again, this will be your main grip, and you can see how my finger just land there. And again, I know it's very simple, but this curvature here, it goes excellent. Great design by Emerson Knives in the department of ergonomics. And again, mean looking blade, I love it. Mean looking blade is a great addition. One thing I'd probably do in the future is to add left pocket carry right there, so I can carry this in my left pocket as a pure self-defense tool. And again, the Elvia, guys, I think it's going to be a great hit. You know, it's a great folder. And this is how it carries. Okay, one of the things I did not mention. So very easy to carry. And again, I'm really enjoying this knife. I just got it. I'm going through the phases of honeymoon, right? So bear with me, but you will see this a lot in my carry rotation for sure. Loving the Elvia. Okay, guys, if you have any other question, I've been talking a lot here. So if you have any other question, feel free to jump in Instagram, Facebook groups, okay, USN forums. We're always there talking and having a great time with this. And guys, this is the Elvia. And remember, until Friday, if you want to get into that second run, very important to know that. And the main reason why I did this video, I want to make sure you're aware of that. Thank you for watching, guys. Stay safe. Bye.